Okay, all you parents out there, listen up from time to time. Well, let me tell you, speaking as a guy with no kids, I'm the one you really need parental advice from. I'm joking. You need it from somebody that knows what the heck they're doing, because let's face it, we all need a little help, and it's getting tougher and tougher to be a parent these days because there's all these outside things coming into the world that you need to be aware of, most importantly, so you know whether or not your kids need to be aware of them. But they're there regardless, so you might as well know they're there. We have a professional here in studio with us today to help in so many ways in the parenting world. Let's bring her on at this time. Her name is Kim Muench. She is so many things. She's a published author. She's a certified coach. She's a speaker. She's a mom. She's everything. Real life parent guide. Kim Muench, welcome to the show today.
Thank you so much.
I am worn out. Man, you got a lot going on.
I do, but I'm passionate about it.
You are very passionate about it, and it all ties back into parenting.
Absolutely.
So let me ask you this. Were you a businesswoman in the parenting field before you were a parent, or were you a parent first?
I was a parent first. I became a parent at the age of 18.
At the age of 18?
I have a 32-year-old as my oldest. So,
goodness gracious.
And I have 5 kids, so I've been doing the parenting.
So your parenting world is perfect. You've been doing it so long, there's no problems in your world.
It's not, and quite frankly, I'm really transparent with the challenges that I have faced as a parent. So I think that's what helps me connect with my clients.
Absolutely. Well, it makes you relatable right off the get-go. I mean, like I was joking, but I'm nobody wants parenting advice from me. I have no kids. What do I know? You know, you've lived it. But you've been able to take your real world, your real life experiences, and through everything, whether you're speaking, whether you're coaching, whether you're writing a book or whatever, to take that and get it on paper or in the ears of the people that need to hear it. Because I'm guessing when you were 18, your first time to be a parent, that stuff wasn't around. You're winging it. Right?
Absolutely. I used my mom a lot for good advice,
Sure.
and she's always been sage and calm, and I think that she had a good influence on the mom that I became. But I actually have spent a great deal of time studying the parent-child relationship, especially as it relates to parenting teenagers. Tweens and teens. Mm-hmm. So that is my passion, is really working with parents whose kids are middle school, high school, and young adult. At this point, my kids are 15 to 32, boys and girls.
Jeez.
And so I've been immersed in these years for a long time myself. I've watched how screen time and dating and things have all changed over the years, and I'm a keen observer of that, not only reading books, but attending seminars and things. So I keep myself very with it on, how to relate to your teenager. Mm-hmm. And as a result of that, I have fantastic relationships with my older 3 boys that are, grown and flown.
Grown and flown. Yes. I like that. So are they getting to the age now to where they think, when I was 18, there's not a chance I could do what you've done, Mom. Thank you. Do they appreciate what you've gone through? Yeah, I bet they do.
They very much do, and they call me. We're in contact once a week or twice a week or, a couple times a week, but it's not because they need something from me. They're actually at an age where they're asking how things are going for me. It actually gets to a point where your kids get old enough and they care about what you're doing.
It 180s on you.
Yeah, I mean, during the teen years, kids are very self-centered.
Sure.
That's part of who they are. And when parents take that personally, it can be really challenging when they take every little thing their kid says, or the door slams, or the eye rolls, all those things personally. It can be a real challenge and cause tense relationships. But they actually do get to a place when you can take less things they say and do less personally. Mm-hmm. They get to a place where their world becomes bigger than them, and they will ask you, "How was your day? How's work going for you?" So it's a beautiful thing, and I've seen that several times already in my own family.
As I mentioned earlier, Kim, you have a lot of things going on. Obviously, the number one most important thing, you're a parent. Well, get that out there. Okay, I'm not trivializing that one. Parent number one. But with all the stuff you do, the one that really popped out of the page to me is a parenting coach. Mm-hmm. I've never thought of that. We have business coaches on here. We've had athletic coach. A parenting coach. Why would a parent need a coach?
Well, I think there's a lot. You said earlier in the interview that there's a lot of outside influence coming in to parents, just like there are for our kids, right? We tend to feel like the answer is out here away from us, when what I help parents do is tune back into their own inner wisdom about the children that they either brought into the world themselves or adopted, the children in their lives, so that they are really connected to and attuned with the children that are in front of them, and not listening to those voices that say, kids got to be in football, kids got to be in AP. Running an agenda through children it can cause rebellion and cause tension in the family. It's really looking at the unique being that our children came into the world to become, and walking alongside them and parenting with them rather than over them. That is my...
Okay, well, let me ask you this, and this is my words, not Kim's, okay, so let's get that on record. Is it safe to say all parents could use a parenting coach, but not all parents are strong enough to admit that?
Absolutely. I myself, especially during the teen years, this is not a time that's well supported for parents. And that's why I chose this niche to work with, because I want to support, educate parents on the teen brain, and encourage parents of this time period. My biggest obstacle, though, is parents. So I'm in my early 50s, and of this age range, I would say it's very difficult for parents to look within themselves to help change the relationship, but it's the thing that's most needed. So rather than saying, if you could just tell me in 3 easy steps how to get my kid to listen, that's not what I do. We work together to figure out what are the real challenges that are going on, what are the surface issues, and what's underneath that, what are the real challenges, and how can you, sometimes as a parent, we need to emotionally grow up or look at some things in our own past and shift the way that we're responding to them, take on some new beliefs about ourselves, like we aren't being disrespected when we're not listened to. There's something below that. There's something that's going on within the parent. So it's just a real gift for those parents who have the courage to decide to work on themselves. And the gift in that is the relationship with their children now is improved. And those kids, when they grow up and have children of their own, they've changed generational patterns of how we are raising our children. And I believe that our teenagers, our kids in general, their behavior now is really screaming to us as parents that we need to evolve the way that we're handling the way we raise them.
Well, it's safe to say in so many aspects of life, we're all products of our environment, okay? And if you don't change that thing, it's just going to keep going and going. And so the strongest ones go to you, all right? But the ones who don't go to you at least realize there's something going on. It doesn't have to be the way it was that my parent, okay, I get all that. Now, through Real Life Parent Guide, I know there's all sorts of ways you can help people, all right? We can figure that out later, but I want a freebie. In all your years as a parent, give me one thing that's really worked for you, one parenting secret that you want to toss out there right now.
Learning how to become aware of responding rather than reacting, which means taking a pause. Parents tend to think that I've got to nip this in the bud, I've got to put the hammer down on this right now because it'll escalate if that doesn't take place. I'm and I've practiced this for many years myself, taking a moment. Of course, there are times when you don't have time to do that, but when it's possible, to take a moment to yourself, take a breath, and respond rather than react. Because ultimately, you're going to get a much better go-around than continuing whatever power struggle you currently are in.
Man, that's good stuff. I can see that going into relationships in general, but particularly the parent-child relationship. Yeah. I like that. I like that a lot. So, see, she really does know her stuff, folks. Now I put her on the spot there. Thank you for bearing with me. That's kind of what I do as talk show host guy. Talking with Kim Muench, everybody. Real Life Parent Guide. It's so many more questions. I'm about out of time now. We've had the info here on the screen so people can find you, but. Right. As I mentioned, you've been doing this a while. You don't look any worse for the wear. I'll give you credit for that.
No, I really enjoy it. It's a passion.
Yeah. I can tell it's a passion. And for someone to be able to get in touch with you, to learn from your life experiences, to help them in ways they don't even know they need help, I admire you for that. Thanks for coming all in with us today and sharing just a little bit what you're up to. We appreciate it.
Thank you, Bryan.
Folks, thank you as well. We'll catch you next time right here on All In. Bye-bye.